Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video, we're taking a look at yield farming with stablecoins and getting some high double-digit APYs. So if that interests you, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications. We're going to take a look at a variety of different chains that you can farm utilizing stables on today, and we'll go through some of the nuances around these various chains and opportunities. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. Today's video sponsor is Crypto.com. I utilize this app almost every day. I use it as my fiat off and on ramp. You can simply purchase with a debit or credit card, or even better, complete a bank transfer for absolutely free. You can also use their in-app staking service, the Earn feature, to earn a passive income on your cryptocurrency. And make sure you check out their Visa debit card. I utilize this for 2% cash back on my purchases, and I also get a full rebate on my Spotify subscription. You can sign up via the link down below in the pinned comment and utilize my referral code CryptoTube, all one word, for a nice bonus. So the website we're utilizing here to see the best yield farms available is actually called Coindix. Excuse the rather ludicrous name, but it is a very useful tool. So within this, you can see a variety of different things. You can see all farming vaults if you click on this tab, but we're going to focus on stablecoins today. So that's what I've clicked on, and typically it will just filter via the highest TVL first, for which the stablecoin UST is highlighted here with Anchor Protocol on Terra with the highest TVL. We're going to go a bit more degen than 19.5% today. But if you're finding these farms and they're like 21, 22%, there's no real point taking additional risk when we know Anchor is tried and tested, and 19.5% is very good indeed. So ideally, we want to get at least double that, I would suggest. So what we're going to do, click on stablecoins, and then we're going to do an APY filter from highest first. So these listed here are the ones we're going to focus on today. We're going to go through around 3 farms in total. And what this website allows you to do is filter, as we can see, by APY, by TVL, but also it shows you which protocol you're utilizing. So in the highlighted text, you've got the actual DApp, the application level. So we've got the auto farm compounder is what we could use here. And then the chain is specified underneath. So in this case here, it's the CRO chain, which is called Kronos. And if we just scroll down, you can see Kronos, BSC, Avalanche, some more BSC, and then we've got Ethereum mainnet ones down here as well. We're going to avoid Ethereum mainnet due to the costs. Most people can't afford to yield farm on ETH mainnet. It's going to cost you hundreds of bucks to get into a farm, hundreds of bucks to get out, and probably $100 just to claim your tokens. So we're going to concentrate on these others. Now, there's also a color coordination here. If you click on a green one, you can see green is least risk factor, amber is medium risk factor, and then yellow here for beefy is a low risk factor. So all things to bear in mind, but having that kind of health factor is useful to maybe avoid some of the pools that have not actually got a color coordination, of which there's quite a lot. If you scroll down here, there's hundreds of farms registered. So this is the starting point for the research, and we're going to go through the top ones here. So we're going to have a little look at Kronos chain, some beefy BSC chain, and also Pangalindex with Avalanche. And all of these are utilizing just stablecoins, a variety of different stablecoins. We've got UST from Terra, USDC, BUSD, RUSD, and USDT mentioned. So let's jump into the first one, which is going to be Auto Farm on the Kronos network. And the one I'm pulling up is the top one here, 49.4% APY. And if we just go over here, you can see it on Auto Farm directly. So this tells you that this is tapping into the CRODEX. If you haven't heard of CRODEX or the Kronos chain as of yet, it is the CRO, Crypto.com's own chain. And it has the actual application here. This is CRODEX, so you could come here and farm on this specifically and avoid utilizing auto farm if you don't want to use auto farm, maybe you don't trust it, but you're going to get a lower APR. So this is in APR, annual percentage rate, and that is just 16%. So if you put your funds over here, you're going to get roughly that. And then if you wanted to auto compound, you're going to have to take these rewards and reintroduce them back into the pool. So this would be quite fiddly to do. You will notice as well the payout in here is in CRX. So all of these pools we're going to look at today are typically paying you out in other coins. They're not paying you out in stables directly. So that is something to bear in mind. And one of the major advantages of using something like Anchor Protocol, you're depositing UST and receiving stable coin rewards. You're not having to worry about farming and dumping tokens. But this is where we get the higher APYs here. So AutoFarm is utilizing Crodex, the same exact pool, but what it's going to do is just auto compound on a daily basis, taking 16% APR up to an APY, annualized percentage yield of around 49.4%. That is the power of compounding. So in order to actually utilize this, you're going to need to use the Cronos chain. So if, for example, you went to multi-chain, the app here, and you select Cronos Chain, it will then prompt you to import Cronos Chain onto your MetaMask, and then you've got the custom RPC and you should be good to go. However, note CRO is the native token of this blockchain, so you need it for some gas. Getting that onto the Cronos Chain directly is a little bit tricky due to the fact that there's hardly any pools you can tap into here. So if I wanted to swap from Cronos into another chain, the only tokens that are decent here on Binance, well, we're pretty damn limited. There's only a few actually named in total, and CRO isn't even one of those. So if utilizing the Cronos chain and you need to get some CRO onto here, of course, take your deposit address, go and buy some on the crypto.com app, and then withdraw to the Cronos chain from there. That is the easiest way to do this. Once you've done that, then you've got a balance of CRO, and then you can look into adding these various funds, so USDT and USDC on the Cronos chain. So as an example, what I would do here, if I was going to deposit, say, around 10,000 bucks worth of liquidity, I would maybe buy up $10,000 worth of CRO on the crypto.com app, withdraw it over to here to the Cronos chain on my MetaMask, keep some of that CRO back for gas fees, but convert the rest into USDT and USDC. You can do all those swaps directly here on the swapping side of this Crodex application. It pretty much is the Uniswap, the QuickSwap, the PancakeSwap of these other networks that we're all so familiar with right now. So if you are willing to jump through some hoops here, you can get a pretty damn good APY. And if I put in 10K, that would get me roughly 5 LP tokens here. I would deposit them in, and after 1 month, I would have roughly 5.17 LP tokens worth $10,549. So earning 549 bucks in 1 month off the back of a 10K deposit. Other things to note down here, the exact calculation, how this all works. So this will auto compound for us and complete 393 compound transactions per year. So getting us around 49.5%. There are some fees, 0.4% on profits to the controller, a 0.5% platform fee. The entrance fee is actually 0 right now, and there's no withdrawal fees, but there is also a fee to the auto staking vault of 2.5% on your profits, but these are calculated within that APY. So say you deposit your funds, you're getting paid out in the reward token here, which is CRX, the Crodex token. And this one is pretty damn volatile, as are all other cryptocurrencies in general. So you probably want to be farming and dumping to ensure you're locking in those gains. If this goes down by 15%, well, your 49.5% APY is no longer 49.5%. So for most of these, I would suggest a farm and dump strategy. So with this particular farm, it's adding more and more to your LP position. So behind the scenes, the auto farm compounder is taking in this CRX profit and then putting it into more LP positions for you, so saving you the hassle. But if you want to break it down and get your dollars out, you have to withdraw some of your LP tokens. It is a rather convoluted way of doing things, but this is why you can get higher APYs, because probably not a lot of people are bothering to do this. So second in the list here is Binance Smart Chain, and this is in the Beefy Vault, and it's the RUSD and BUSD stablecoin pool. It's the exact same pool as this one down here on PancakeSwap. This one has a better security score, but 41.7% or 38.95%. It's up to you which one you would choose. On the basis, they're very similar in terms of overall APY. I would suggest there's a little bit more risk of using Beefy over PancakeSwap due to the fact Beefy, I think, has been hacked in the past, whereas PancakeSwap is pretty damn impenetrable and has a better reputation at this point in time. So I'd probably neglect the 41% and go for the roughly 39% here. Beefy is farming this exact same pool, so risk to reward wise, I would rather go in here. Now again, if we deposit roughly 10K USD over here, of course we're going to need some BNB on our MetaMask to utilize the Binance Smart Chain network here. Well, 10K in over a 30-day period, just for some context versus the other farm we looked at, this one's going to pay out roughly 304 bucks per month. And we were getting roughly 549 bucks over on that CRO chain farm. So slightly less good returns. This pays out in the Cake token. The total liquidity in this pool as well is over $5 million. So this does mean if some whales enter with a few hundred K a piece or maybe $1 million, at least it's not going to diminish that much from the current APY. Whereas when we're looking at some of these other pools over on the Kronos network here, the TVL's a lot lower. So it only takes 1 or 2 people to come in with a big bag of funds to start diluting these rewards right down. And as you can see from here, 7 days ago, the APY on this was 10% and it's now up to 49.4%. So you're going to have to really monitor these things on a regular basis to get a consistent payout. And you're going to have to be very nimble with your funds. And with this pancake swap, RUSD to BUSD pool here, you're going to be paid out in the cake tokens. So you can choose to farm and dump, but if you want to take this a step further and really try and compound those rewards massively, you can of course take those cake and put them into their own auto compounding pool. So that would mean taking those cake and putting them into a 62.89% APY farm of their own on a single-sided staking position. Then last but not least, we're looking at the final pool here at 39% APY. This is over on Pangolin on the Avalanche network. Pangolin used to be the #1 DEX, and this is farming using UST and USDC. And also note, this has huge liquidity already, $13.8 million, so pretty damn good. And let's jump over into this pool. So here we are, this is the Pangolin DEX, and this is the liquidity pool, UST to USDC, 39% APR. Now this is a rather established protocol in general. As you can see, there are some insurance primitives you can take out here as well, which is pretty damn interesting if you're going to deposit a huge amount of funds. And now if you want to click the deposit button, we can see some more details. So this is paying us out in 3 different tokens. So again, a little bit more complexity here. You've got to farm and dump 3 different things. We've got some Pangolin tokens, PNG, some Luna, and some wrapped Avalanche as well. We can see from this pair explorer here, 13.8 million in total liquidity for the LP position. It's doing around 1.3 million in 24-hour volume, and the fees are just $3,400 per day. So you're not really going to get anything out of the fee side. It's all about those farming tokens. So on this basis, getting paid out in these, you're going to probably want to come and log in on a very regular basis and start taking these tokens, dumping them into more stablecoins and locking in your profits if you think that these tokens are likely to go down in value. Now, this being on the Avalanche network, you will need to add Avalanche to your MetaMask. You can do this simply by clicking on the network up here and switching across, and it will just import that custom RPC for you automatically, just like so. So when it comes to yield farming with your stablecoin assets, you need to weigh up a huge amount of things here. How long are these APYs going to remain? Is it worth me jumping in and out of these pools all the time, switching networks, and then having to go and claim your rewards and then dump those tokens back into dollars to ensure you're locking in the profits? So for those of us who are more active in the markets, you can spend a lot more time doing these kind of things. It is worthwhile doing, in my opinion, but it is a lot of effort. So weighing that up, getting maybe 40-50% APY versus getting a steady 19.5% APY on Anchor Protocol, well, you've got to decide for yourself, is the headache worth it? And for some of you, it definitely won't be. But just to wet the whistle here, we've gone through a few different chains, a few different dApps, all of which I do think are good to use. I've used most of these previously and I've had no issues, but APYs that are here today may not be there tomorrow. That's all I got for this video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. See you in the next one. Goodbye.